Alright guys, it is time for our brief overview. Welcome to the first installment of the Cryptocurrently VIP Elliott wave analysis videos. We're going to cover 3 charts, and if you want to see the full detailed analysis where I show you how I came up with counts and everything, you have to check out the other video in the description. If you'd like to see just the brief synopsis, then you're in the right place. As previously explained, we do have some kind of massive move up that hopefully you guys participated in, but in reality, most of crypto Twitter didn't participate in much of this except for this portion. Congratulations. So, everybody's waiting for this next move up, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that I don't think it's happening yet. Notice that I am on a 3-day chart for now. I have us in a W, massive X, that's forming a flat, like this. And then we still have more downside to come. And my primary count gives us 2 more lows. Not next. Next would be a bounce after we take out the 33.38 level. Now this is in a complex WXYXZ making up a V wave. You should get used to V waves being nasty, disgusting, long, and range bound for the most part. You will always have impulses within moves. However, we are primarily corrective. So we should expect a lot of time to pass without much price movement. You should always consider time versus price. And that's really what I'm here to suggest when it comes to Elliott wave analysis. Time versus price. Impulse versus correction. Now obviously we can take our impulse down a little lower. However, the idea is that we impulse the market's move in impulses and corrections. Impulses move versus price, corrections move against time. So, for my overall count, this piece right here in the middle is pretty critical. I see this very clearly as a flat corrective pattern right here. And I actually see that thanks to FriendsCallMeAP. If you're not following him on Twitter, you need to. The guy is awesome. He puts out great content at no charge, and he just has studied a lot. So it was when he brought my attention to this pattern being a flat pattern that the rest of the correction became relatively more clear. It's disgusting. Many who follow FriendsCallMeAP's rules would call me disgusting for having an X being this long. X waves are generally known as, in the FriendsCallMeAP rule set, they're known as being 2 degrees lower than the W or Y counterparts. Being that this is a combination, it's not a double zigzag, it's a double combo, I do think that the X wave can be much longer than the W or Y that it's correcting in between. So overall, let's go ahead and go down to lower time frames. I'm expecting some kind of B to complete shortly. When I say shortly, I say within the next couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, possibly faster than that. Our C down could take as long as our A down did. This is the wrong tool, sorry about that. So this is the time measurement of our A wave, and we'll set it on the time measurement of our C wave. We could be done with this move by the 28th of March, so that's within a couple weeks. That would give us a 1-to-1 time frame if the middle wave, the B wave, completed here. So to clarify, this yellow marks out a larger A, B, C. The other idea is that this move and this move here are related to each other. Oh, that kind of sucks. I'll turn the log back on, I guess. They could be related to each other, however, time-wise and shape-wise, they're very different. So I believe that this move here was completely unrelated to this move and more related to this correction here. And if you look at time on this A wave, from the start of the C wave, you see that the C wave only took 1.5 times as long as the A wave. So that's more common than an A taking this long. Now I got to figure out which one of these I need to take off. And the B taking twice as long. Or excuse me, the C taking twice as long. Not only did it take twice as long, it did not cover as much in terms of price or percentage. Percentage-wise, this one covered 36%, while this one covered 25%. So in my opinion, this was a subwave of a larger flat right in here. And that flat is a B wave or an X wave within a larger flat, like this. I don't think we quite reached this low, but I believe that we are forming a larger WXY flat type pattern before a move back up. So I'm looking for upside, and I'm actually looking to short right in here. Oops, excuse me. At the 50-ish level, 39.34, up to, let's put the 625 on here, 625 at 39.95. So my yellow line is not exactly accurate here. I'm looking for something more like this, which is better in terms of time anyway, now that I redrew it. And then I'm looking for a buy-in long. As soon as we take out this low, I'm looking for longs. Oops, delete that one. Take these guys off. There's my overall chart for you guys. Alright, so let's move over to Litecoin. And we won't even really focus on the long-term count. Well, I guess let's go ahead and just glance at it real quick. On the long-term count, we still have a flat right up here. I have that flat as the entirety of the X wave. So now, if we put in a WX, we had a Y come down, Now I believe we're putting in another X wave. Time-wise, could that take as long as the previous X wave? Absolutely it could, and it could likely take longer as well. So we've already taken as long. This could technically be the top of our X wave, and we could just head to new lows from here. In my opinion, it's going to drag out a little bit longer, possibly take 3 times as long as the previous W wave. Now, I did not really discuss the basing pattern on Bitcoin. If you want to hear about the basing pattern, please watch the full video. We could be putting in some kind of base on Bitcoin, which would mean that this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But in my opinion, we are filling out a lower time frame count here. We're completing it, reaching a top for a massive short and a range-bound X wave. This X wave could take even longer than this, could take something like this. We've got another flat right in here, A, B, C, with a larger A, B, C coming up. So now we expect a correction behind what is not an impulse, but is an impulsive move. I don't think you can deny that this is an impulsive move. This took, well, let's just go to this top since this is a theoretical top. 85 days covered 166%. That's an average of 2% increase every day. That's an impulsive move. It's not necessarily an impulse, but it is an impulsive, strong move. So I'm projecting a continuation up to another top and a rejection from levels such as $63 right in this price range here, and some long range bound correction. Something like this. If you're a shorter, this is great. You can play this. If you only long, then you might want to look away from Litecoin. You might want to look at some other assets. All right, guys, that's all I've got on crypto for today. Let's take a look at UUUU. This is a uranium stock. Shout out to SmartContractor for being pretty much one of the first I saw to post any of the uranium thoughts. And the reason he did so is primarily due to volume. Take a look at this volume change as we've reached a bottom here. So we don't have all of the chart history here, but I believe this to be some kind of large ABC. We've got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this C wave. And then we form some kind of basing pattern behind it. This is what I discussed on Bitcoin, an AB base. AB bases are quite controversial in the Elliott wave world, but as I said in the longer video, we have to have some kind of basing formation. No matter what you call it, it's a basing pattern here, in my opinion. Some would just call this a 1, 2, and this would be 3. I don't see it. I think this is some kind of basing pattern with an impulse starting behind it. They may even call this all 3, 4, 5. Behind that, we have an impulsive move up. Here we've got a flat pattern right here, which makes us a 4 wave, and then a 5 push up to finish what I'm calling wave 1 of an impulse forming after the base. Previously, I thought, hey, we've got a W here, so we should be looking for a Y to form after this X top. But as X is played out, it looks more like a 3, 3, 5 corrective pattern forming here. So I think we have a flat filling out right in here. It'll probably look something more like this. it might reach up to these tops or so, and then I'm looking for it to come down one more time. So I personally am looking to buy this particular uranium stock between $2 and $2.30. Time-wise, we haven't quite completed a 1-to-1 in terms of the impulse took longer than the correction has, and even if the correction ends here, where I'm projecting here, somewhere in this range, this would be less than a 1-to-1. That is pretty common for wave 2s though. 2s tend to be sharp in nature, and we've already been basing since the end of 2016. So this is personally what I'm looking for. If we were to break this high, $4.10, then I would be changing my outlook and looking for some kind of flag. Any flag over $4 would be a buy-in for me. Otherwise, I am waiting for this $2.20 range. Alright guys, I think that's everything I've got for this entire video. If you'd like more detail, again, you can check out the full video. I'll link it in the comments in the description below. But if you'd like detailed analysis on low time frames, high time frames, mid time frames, on demand, 24 hours a day almost, from 4 different traders, 2 of which use Elliott Wave, 2 of which don't use Elliott Wave, then I invite you to come join us over at cryptocurrentlyvip.com. It's myself, Satoshi Heavy, Crypto Warrior, and Nebraskan Gooner. Probably at least a couple of those you already follow on Twitter. So we've got great content, and we monitor multiple markets, including crypto and forex, just a bare minimum of stocks. For example, UUUU. Those stocks we find unique. Some pot stocks, I believe, are still in corrective for the most part, so we are not monitoring those too closely. But we are going to have to get back into those because pot stocks have major potential coming up once they complete their corrective patterns as well. Alright guys, that's it. We hope to see you join the group. If you have any questions, just throw them in the comments below. Hope you'll share the video and throw me a follow.